And this is take 5 of how Julie got her happy back. You know, it's not always easy doing a live connection, and so we're going to try it again. Julie's now back with her coffee. I don't know what else is in there. Good evening, Julie. Julie's actually joining us from France. So it is 7 p.m. there. It is 11 a.m. in Orange, California. So the two Brits connecting via the oceans. Welcome, Julie. What have you got in that coffee?
Hello.
Hey, what are you drinking?
Coffee and water.
Coffee and water. Yeah.
Baileys.
The little Baileys in there. That's a lovely little
Yes.
coffee to have.
I call it connecting with spirits.
You like to connect with your spirits, don't you?
Yes.
Which is awesome. And you're joining us from your backyard, your Zen garden in France.
Yes, my Zen garden behind.
I love your Zen garden.
Butter.
I remember you sending me a photograph of it when you were doing it. So, Julie, you've come to join us today because you were the very first member of Get Your Happy Back to sign up 2 years ago. Samaj and I did such a happy dance in your name when we got the registration through. I mean, we do a happy dance now for everyone that comes through, but you were the very first person. Like, we put this thing out there that I'd been dreaming of I'd had in my mind exactly as it came out for 3 years. I didn't really change it. And then just one day I just decided, I'm just going to do it. I just need to do it. And you registered, and it made it feel like it was real, to be quite honest. Really, it really did. And now we've had 2 years because it's a lifetime program. So you registered once and you've been a member. And we run 4 seasons a year. So you're now coming up to your 9th season. You're quite the veteran. Yeah. So I thought it'd be great to have you on, because if anyone's thinking about joining Get Your Happy Back, well, they're not really sure what it's about, because I keep saying what it is, but of course, maybe I don't really know what it is compared to, participants, right? Those people who go through it. So that's why Julie's here today. And I thought it'd be really lovely. Julie's got quite a little story of where she started and where she was when she saw Get Your Happy Back. So Julie, why don't you give us how did you come to join the program? What was going on in your life that you needed to get your happy back?
Oh, it's been ages since I last told this story to anybody.
Because you're moving away from it.
Yes. Well, I'd been following you on YouTube with your Kundalini yoga, and I think we chatted online about the yoga and things, and you mentioned about this program, Get Your Happy Back, that you were starting. And I thought, that's what I really need to do. That's something that's just shouting out, join. But this is the big but. I'd had a card reading in the January. I was going through a very nasty, complicated divorce because I was here in France with my 2 children. My ex was back in the UK. And the card reading basically said July was going to be the worst point, the lowest point in my life. And that was going to be when the course was running. And I was like, oh, is it because the course is going to be running and it's going to drag up bad problems, memories, drag up all kinds of things? Or is it that it's not going to be too bad? Maybe I'm making too much out of it. And something inside me just said I had to do it. I stuffed the consequences. I've got to do it. So I did, and I joined, and I was still panicky all going through the course. What's going to happen? But nothing happened, and the sky didn't fall down on me, and I'm still here today. So even though I had the card reading, it didn't exactly say anything really bad, because I don't think they're allowed to say that anyway. But yes, if I hadn't joined the course, maybe that would have been my lowest point in my life. Maybe things could have gone really bad. But you and I discussed it afterwards, and yes, it could just be an indicator, but I decided to change my own path at that point, because I decided to go on the course and do the course. And it's clearly what I needed to do to shift myself out of the little rut I was in, and get my happy back, literally.
Yeah.
So that was the reason for joining, really.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned as well that it was, you were wanting, as a mum, especially as a divorced mum with 2 very vibrant, vivacious teenagers, not teenagers, 9 and 11, but they might as well be teenagers.
Yes.
That age, in France as well. You struggled for some time for yourself as well. How did that fit in?
Yes. Well, I've got friends here. I've got family as well, kind of nearby, but hundreds of miles away. And I had just basically lost who I was and what I wanted to do. And just being a mom all the time, even when the kids were at school, I still didn't really get time to myself. So all I wanted out the course to begin with was me time. And I literally mean me time, no interruptions, no disturbances, nothing. And the one thing that I really, really enjoyed about the course was on the YouTube videos, it's as though you're only talking to me. And I love that because I just felt the connection straight away. Plus, we're both Brits as well, expats, you could say. And on the courses as well, with all the recordings and all the audios and things, it was like you were just talking to me. It was like you knew everything about me. You just kind of got inside me. I don't know how you did it. I want to know how you did it. But you knew everything that I was ever going to ask. And if there were ever questions straight away, if they were coming up into my head, you were already answering the question as I was thinking it, going through the courses every week. But for those 60 minutes, the 60 minutes of the audios, the calls, I was just with you. And that's all I wanted. I just wanted me time, just to have almost like adult conversation, but I didn't even have to speak. I just basically put my headphones in and I just listened to you for an hour. And for that hour, I only concentrated on myself. And that is what I needed more than anything. I was just so, so glad I had that course.
Oh, your audio's gone.
Can you hear me again now?
Oh, I can hear you now.
Yeah,
Live connections.
Yeah. Live connections. Okay. So yeah, there's loads of other courses out there that I could have joined, but sound's
going out again. It's important. Stop it, Zoom. Cooperate. I can't hear Julie. I tell you, universe is making us work for this. Let me try taking you. I'll go closer in the house. I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? No? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Where can I take you where you might be able to hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Don't we love live recordings? I'm just loving this. Can you hear me now? You like this, stuck on the screen. Where are you, Julie? Julie, come back to me. You're just like this. Can you say something? And we are recording again. So we just had a little technical issue there. Julie ran inside. I ran inside. We ran around the house. We finally connected right here. And we've decided this is where we're going to stay. I'm so thankful that you have so much patience, Julie. You are just awesome. Yeah, you do. You're just awesome. I'll remind your girls of that when they think that you don't have it.
Yes, when they want to divorce me.
I don't think they'll want to divorce you. Now, when we got broken up, we didn't get broken up. When our connection failed us, you were just talking about how you could have done some other courses out there.
Yes. When I tried other courses free and even looked at paid ones and freaked out at the cost, I mean, we're talking thousands for some courses out there. They tell you everything that you already know. And literally they just put it in a package and tell you everything you already know. Like, you need to meditate, you need to drink water, take vitamin tablets, go to bed early, get up early, do some yoga. But they don't tell you any more than that. So you're not actually getting value for money. Whereas your course was, and I'm not joking, totally different. It really stood out as I was going through the course that everything about it was unique in your approach. The fact that it was a call, it was 1 hour, and it kind of paced it nicely, and each different topic was addressed thoroughly. But not only that, because of the fact that it was the 1 hour, it wasn't just a few handouts and a few emails. It was you and me together, headphones in, and that's what I wanted. Since seeing you on the YouTube videos, you'd say you were doing a happy dance. I was like, oh my God, that's shit from YouTube. So the kids, and they're like, ah!
I remember you telling me that you told you.
I was a bit screenshot.
You sent me a picture. We were on a call one day and you showed me your massive TV, and it like freaked the hell out of me because I was like, people are watching me on that. You're like, I do my yoga right there. And you were always, a lot of times these programs, a lot of it is you. It's your participation, right? They work if you work it. And I do remember that very much about you. You were a student in that first season. Get Your Happy Back takes you through a process, for those of you watching, of getting to know your mind and your habits and how your habits run. And so there's like a little learning curve. So that first season, Julie really put herself in there for that 1 hour a week. Like she said, she took notes and she'd show me her notes and things. She'd like say, look, I took notes. And she'd quote back at me and things like that. But, I mean, one of the things that we do in Get Your Happy Back, one of the very first things we do, right, is get a score, a Wheel of Wellness score. So there's a score out of 100. So you might think, my life sucks, but might not know where, right? But if you go through the wheel, Julie will tell you, you've got 9 areas that you can actually start to pinpoint where it really sucks in your life. You can pinpoint where you've worked before that hasn't worked, so you're not going to work there again. And you can actually pinpoint where you need to work, and you can use it ongoing. So Julie, I'd love you to share, you did your wheel the first time, and then you came back and fully participated. I think it was the 3rd or 4th season, 3 or 4 seasons later, and you did another wheel score. How was that?
You're not going to ask me to quote that score, are you? Because I can't remember.
No, your score, well, I know that your score was...
I know there were different areas that had definitely changed.
Yeah.
Where I needed, obviously, going through the divorce, I needed me time. I needed to find myself, basically. Whereas I think the next time round, the balance had changed. But the one thing that stood out was it actually sounded like they were totally different audios. And I actually heard things that I hadn't heard before. And you said, well, actually, it's the same program, the same, ideas and everything, but I was just picking up on new things. And that amazed me because I clearly only tuned into the parts I needed to hear first time round. And okay, listened to the whole course, all of the hours, really participated. The next time round, I'm like, oh my God, I never thought of that. Oh, didn't think of that. Oh, that's a good idea. And I was just blown away. And I thought, gosh, I've paid once, and like you say, I'm a lifetime member. You cannot get rid of me, seriously.
I don't want to. No, we don't want to.
No, but no, it was amazing because, I have to say this, value for money wise, compared to any other course, it just stood out. It really outshone all the rest because I obviously was listening in and picking up on other things. Any other course would have just, again, told me, you need to drink water, you need to do yoga, you need to wake up, you need to go to bed. They're not telling you anything new, but this course, it's just unbelievable. It was just, there's just so much every time I tune into it, every season. And occasionally I do think, oh, do I have to do it? But it's just like anything, do I have to get up and go to the gym? Do I have to go to work? Whatever your thing is in life, you just do it. And when you do it, you feel happier for doing it. So I think it's a brilliant name, Get Your Happy Back, because you get your happy back. Yes. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I do remember you saying about the calls, and there's 5 calls in Get Your Happy Back, and the 5 calls are the same calls. You just keep getting those 5 calls each season. Maybe you don't listen to them each season. Some people didn't. Julie went back and listened to them, came in the group and said, oh my God, I've heard different things this time. Janice came into the group, said, I've listened to them as well. I've heard different things. Because here's the thing, we only hear what we need to focus on. Right? So whatever's on our mind at the time, that's what we're going to attract, because what we think about is what we're attracting, right? So when you're listening to the call, those calls are something like, I think they're 8,000 words in Microsoft Word. They're 26 pages of Microsoft Word. You get the transcript with them. You didn't get it in the beginning, but these are all the things we've built out. We'll talk about it in a minute. We've built out since you joined. But, there's a lot of stuff in there. You're not going to get all of it at the same time. So you pick up what you need at that time. And then when you listen to it again, you have changed. And that's what I remember you writing that to me. The calls hadn't changed, but what I realized was I've changed. And therefore the relationship to the calls changes because you're in a different place. And now maybe you've got that kind of next level of thinking and you go, oh, there's this. And so, because it's really, the course is teaching you, Julie as well, how to master her mind, how to know her mind, how to watch her mind, how to do exercises that you can actually see what your mind's doing so that you've got some frigging clue as to how the hell it works rather than knowing how someone else's mind works, which is great that they can do it when they're setting the mind to it. But how about you? How are you going to do it? And so I think that's, I really love that. And yeah, so when we first started with you, Julie, you just had 5 calls, and I think that was the way for about 3 seasons before we added, and that was fine, right? The 5 calls were that's what and we had the Facebook group, the private Facebook group, which is really awesome. Yes. I made an odd video that I would put in there, and then over the last 2 years, Get Your Happy Back's just been my it's my happy dumping ground. It's when I make things and I want to give them to my people. I put them in Get Your Happy Back. So there's bonus calls in there, and I keep adding calls. So yes, you get your 5 calls the same each season, but then we get add-on calls as well. And we've started doing some Zoom group calls, which is really fun. I'm really super excited about doing those this coming season in June. So yeah. Anything else you'd like to add, Julie?
No, apart from the fact that the interaction with the group is very good. I think we've all kind of like become a good family, as I know you call us your family. We are.
Yeah.
And it's good. I mean, there are other groups, but they're just more pushy by the person that's actually created the group. You know, what are you doing? Tell me this. You know, who's up for this? Who's doing that? Whereas we actually come forward and we say things, we share our experiences, we share our life as well. And it's nice that we can do that, and especially nice for you because you're, you know, the owner of the group. But yeah, we can just go in there, have a moan, have a cry, or, you know, say something amazing has, you know, just happened, and we just need to share it. And it's just such a lovely, warm group. It really is.
I do love the group. I mean, we call the group a soft place to land and a hard place to say the same is the intention behind the group. And, you know, teacher or student, we're all students. So get your happy back. Maybe that I put it up there and I put the calls out, but I'm not the one with all the wisdom. The wisdom's in the group. That's where the wisdom is. When you bring people together, that's where the wisdom is. And so that's what I love about Get Your Happy Back. And Julia will vouch that, yes, I'm in there and I'll answer comments, but I'm not the first one in there because I don't want to be the first one in there. If I'm the first one in there, then everyone else is going to follow that. I want everyone else to come. And that's what happens. People come in. And, you know, outside of the group, they'll come in and say, you know, that their toddlers playing up and they haven't had any sleep, or their husbands, you know, people come in with generally what's going on with them at home. And they know that it's like this small group of people that knows them, or growing group actually, but that knows them, and they come in and support. And I think that's the beauty now that we've been 2 years, Julie, is that you've been there for 2 years, you and Deanne were like the first ones, right? And then because of that, you've kind of held it. Like, we've had new people join each season. We're almost up at 50 right now, and looking forward to lots more. But that kind of, you guys have now really set the scene. You're the veterans. You're you've been around the block a few times, and you go in there and you cheerlead one another. And we've got people from all over the world. Like I said, Julie's in France. We've got England. We've got Belgium. We've got Australia. We've got South Africa. We've got the US. I've probably missed someone out. Australia. Maybe I've missed someone out there, but that's all in Get Your Happy Back. And you don't have to, Julie will vouch for this too. I tried to make everything super easy. So you sign up once at the beginning, and then I send you everything. Like each season, you've not got to sign up again, even though it's free. You haven't got to re-register. You just sit and receive them in your email box. If you want to open them, you open them. And if you don't, you don't. That's it. You don't have to do anything. And it gets posted in the Facebook group. And your calls, you don't have to be on at a certain time. They're recorded, and you can just press play. You haven't got to put in a whole bunch of codes and all of that crap, because I hate that crap. So I tried to take that crap out for you, right? If you're trying to make change, who wants to have to, we were just doing all that this morning, like the codes. Who needs all that? Let's make it simple. So Get Your Happy Back is very simple. I don't know if there's anything else we can say that would help people decide if Get Your Happy Back's for them. If you'd like to go and take a look at what we say, the sales page is a little bit out of date. We have more in there than we did there, but onewomanrevolution.tv/next step. Ooh, we did add in the 40 days kissed by Kundalini. How do you like that little
yes
sequence?
Loved it, because obviously that's the way that I connected with you to begin with. So yeah, having that as the sort of like the bonus part as we went through the seasons. Yeah, because you're kind of teasing us, going, yeah, it's coming. Wham, it was there.
Well, that was, I'd said I think it was last June actually. It was last June when I said it would be ready for that season, and boy, was that I was in Orange actually the week before, and I'd outlined the 40 topics. I sent an email every single day with a little nugget. And originally it was supposed to be like a tiny nugget, like just 2 or 3 lines. But it generally ended up to be not huge, but it was a recording, like a little audio, or, because the 5 sutras for the Aquarian age, I mean, you can't just say 2 things about that. Yogi Bhajan's got the 5 sutras for the Aquarian age. It's important. The 8 limbs of yoga, and then questions about Kundalini yoga and why we do what we do and why we're in white and what do you need to do and how often. All of these things pop in your mailbox every morning on the 40 days. So, And you meet beautiful people like Julie. You see, that's why I wanted to bring Julie here, because you see me, but these are the people. Like, it's that that wisdom is in the collective. I think of Get Your Happy Back. It's a collective wisdom that's growing. And we've got, I don't know, how old's Liana? She's got to be 21, 22, 23.
She's the baby of the group. Yeah.
She's tiny little baby. So Liana's little baby. And then I think our oldest member's about 60 something. And everyone in between. We've got men, we've got women, and they're all over the world. So maybe you're one of them too. And if you are, come to onewomanrevolution.tv/next step. And you can join there. Julie, have I got anything else I'd like to say to you apart from thank you and I love you like so much. And I love your girls. I love that we've been on, Julie and I have been on the phone, and our girls love to come and say hi. And is it Lauren who rides? I always get the names mixed up. So Lauren rides road bikes, which is like, she's badass, man. She's just it's been so cool watching her do that over the last couple of years. I mean, it's just really cool. So I love watching your girls. And then Gemma's just like super theatrical and always dancing around and stuff. Well, they both are really. So it's just a pleasure to get to know the people in the group. And yeah, I love it. I love Get Your Happy Back. And if it sounds like something you'd like to try, come on in. Come and join us. We'll be going live on June 20th. So what Julie was saying is we've got 4 practice sessions a year. So that's as the seasons turn and change, so do we. So every season, we start a 40-day practice session. Now, I think personally, as you were saying earlier, this is one of the things that really makes Get Your Happy Back different. Because like Julie said, people will tell you what you need to do. Liana says what she finds from the course is actually taught her how to do that, which a lot of people don't. They just tell you to do it and then leave you. But then know how to do it, but then practice it. Put it into practice. Because it's great reading all this stuff and going, oh yeah, I understand all of that. And then you get a habit and you can't change it. And the only way I've changed my life over the last 17 years is doing these 40-day practices that I share in Get Your Happy Back. And, my life and body could not be any different, more different than it was at age 34 as I hit 50 next month. So what's possible for you, if you're watching. And I just want to say to Julie, thank you so much for joining me and for your patience today and for your grace and just for your overall awesomeness.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime, my love. Absolutely anytime.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I look forward to catching up with you soon. If you join Get Your Happy Back, of course, Julie's going to be in there. She's like the grand mom of the group. We haven't called her that yet, but I've just decided she's like the grand mom of the group. They call me Mother Hen. I'm going to call her grand mom. Leanna's going to love that. And then we've got...
I'll go with that, though.
We have Johan and Liana. We've called them Yolania. Did you know that one? Did you?
Yes.
Yeah, that was on one of our calls, the Yolana. So yeah, we just have lots of fun. So if it's right for you, onewomanrevolution.tv/next step. Take a look. If it's right, come and join us. You never know what might happen. What's possible for you in a year, 2 years, 5 years, or 10 years? Take the next step. Find out. Satnam, my loves. Julie, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Satnam.
See you in the course. Bye.